Let's start with the headline. And does this in any way look like the high water mark, and have earnings peaked or plateaued? And what did you make of the guidance that did come in on the lighter side?
Yeah, I think China has been a significant factor since now they cannot cater to that $50 billion market. So that has been quite a change for Nvidia, roughly a $8 billion worth of opportunity lost initially. But in a longer term, if you look, I think China remains a significant market. And if US AI companies can't enter China, I think this will give a significant competitive advantage to China. The export controls haven't worked quite well, and it limits the opportunity for US companies. Overall, I think the guidance is almost in line, slightly below the consensus. But still, I think missing those China revenues, Nvidia still has done better. I think that is pretty much significant on the overall turnovers.
Parv, can India, given time, replace or even eclipse Nvidia's business in China?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I was just thinking about it. So India, I think, already has started with the AI strategy and an AI mission as well. I think hundreds of billions of dollars have been promised. Although it's starting now, it will take quite 5 to 6 years to get there. But there is a lot of digital transformation that is happening in India. And based on, I think, the initial estimates that we have done, at least roughly, I think 10,000s of GPUs would be required initially for getting these AI data centers running in India, specific to the sovereign AI ecosystem. And on top of it, I think there are multiple companies, if you look at Tata, Reliance, that are working on these data centers and already have promised like a gigawatt of data center, I think, currently in India. So I think in the longer term, India does create that opportunity for Nvidia, but I think China is one of the biggest market. I think to be outside of that market, India does give them a play here, but I think China would still be a biggest. I think it will take time for India to get there.
You mentioned sovereign AI, Parv. I would imagine in India with these government digital initiatives, that build-out is going to be quite a significant addressable market opportunity, as will be AI inference, as will be physical AI and robotics. Do you see it the same way?
Yes, surely. I think if you look at India, there is everything is getting digitized. I think we have a pretty big population, and we are already digitizing all the data, whether it is like Aadhaar linked or whether the services which government is offering, everything is moving online. So even I think previously you were talking about the airports and the flights, and in India, I think all the digital airports, if you look at, are getting all this digital entry and also overall, I think it's a mix because more and more digital ecosystem is being brought in, specifically from a government perspective, and to cater to these bigger population, I think sovereign AI is required, because you cannot have this data going outside of India, and from a privacy security perspective, this all data has to stay in India.
Nvidia has a significant presence in India already. 4,000 employees across 6 locations, partnerships that we were talking about earlier with Reliance, TCS and Infosys for AI-related solutions. So what is the next stage in that build-out and evolution, and what role can Nvidia play in elevating India's ambitions to move up into advanced manufacturing itself?
Yeah, I think I look at it from 2 ways. First is like providing the overall infrastructure. Nvidia will play a key role here, because if you look at most of the GPUs and that are being supplied by Nvidia, and that will help all these companies to set up their data centers specifically to the AI data centers. And the second thing, what can be done is that Nvidia still has a bigger developer base in India, and if you look at government strategies to have a chip being designed in India, I think one thing that can be done is to have a co-developed data center chip in India along with Nvidia and the Indian government or Indian private entities. I think that would give a big boost, specifically from a intellectual property perspective, the cost effectiveness, big boost to startups, and also it will de-risk the supply chain risk that is currently in the market. So there is a big potential right now, both from a current use perspective and also what can be done in the future.
IT Minister believes India will produce its first domestically manufactured semiconductor chip by December this year, December 2025. Is that realistic and achievable, or does India need more time?
Yeah, I think India has already started, although we have started on the mature nodes, 28 nanometers and below. So that gives us a slight delay from a leading edge nodes. So I think Tata is already there in Dholera, and I think the plan looks optimistic. But again, as it is an initial start, it would be more on the mature nodes rather than a leading edge product.